Of the Long Island Capital Alliance, I would like to welcome you to our June 2012 Technology Transfer Capital Forum, done in collaboration with our strategic partners, Brookhaven National Laboratories. For both of you in the audience who don't know me yet, my name is Neil Kaufman. I'm the chairman of the Long Island Capital Alliance, and when I'm not spending my time doing that, which recently seems like most of my time, I'm a partner and the chairman of the corporate department at Abrams Fensterman, one of the largest full-service law firms on Long Island. The Long Island Capital Alliance has been around since the 1980s, and over those decades has been devoted to facilitating the growth of companies and economic development on Long Island. Over the years, we have provided the forum to make many matches between companies seeking investment capital and investors seeking growth opportunities and great returns on their investment. We have matched dozens of companies with investors. Those companies have raised hundreds of millions of dollars and produced, as best we can tell, thousands of jobs in the region. We also have on many occasions matched executives or management teams with companies, providing the other key element to their growth. Let me spend a minute or so telling you how the event is going to run this morning, and then we'll get right down to it. After a few preliminary matters, we're going to have some presentations by our friends at Brookhaven National Laboratory. We will then have presentations made by 6 companies and technologies developed at BNL. Each presentation will last up to 8 minutes and be followed by a couple of questions from the audience. After all of the presenters have completed their presentations, we will then have a panel discussion with 4 experts on developing and financing technology transfer-driven businesses. We will then have some Q&A with the panelists and wrap up the event, hopefully by 11 a.m. I would like to thank all the sponsors of the Long Island Capital Alliance. Our platinum sponsors, the Long Island Forum for Technology, which is well represented here this morning, my firm, Abrams Fensterman, Citron Cooperman, Insperity, and Executive Strategies Group. And our gold sponsors, Ruskin Moscow, Deloitte, and MarketWire. So, you heard me introduce myself as the chairman of LICA, and some of you may be scratching your heads saying, hey, wait a minute, I thought Jeff Bass was the chairman of LICA. For over 25 years, Jeff Bass has devoted a substantial portion of his life to this organization and to helping all of the companies that we have helped over the years achieve their goals. Jeff has guided the Long Island Capital Alliance under its current name and under its previous name, the Long Island Venture Group, through multiple business and finance cycles, including the roaring 90s, the technology boom, the healthy mid-2000s, the financial panic of 2008. Through all of these ups and downs, Jeff's steady hand has led this organization, kept it alive, and kept furthering our mission to help grow companies on Long Island. During that time, Jeff and I have developed a very close personal relationship. We've become good friends, and I know that the entire board of directors and myself personally can't thank Jeff enough for all the work that he has done over the years leading this great organization. As a small token of our appreciation, if Jeff, if you could join us up here, we would like to extend our thanks to Jeff for all of his service as chairman. And Jeff, on behalf of the board of directors and members of the Long Island Capital Alliance, we'd like to present to you this trophy and thank you from the bottom of our hearts for all of your hard work and efforts over the many years that you've put in on behalf of everyone.
Thank you. I've got 3 minutes. I'm going to take less. This is a very bittersweet moment for me. As Neil said, I have the absolute honor and privilege of serving the Long Island business community in the capacity of chairman of the Long Island Venture Group and then the Long Island Capital Alliance for all these years. We have a wonderful business community on Long Island. We've always had a very vibrant entrepreneurial component of that community on Long Island. And it has been, I believe, a lot of work, certainly, but a certainly very pleasurable experience in presiding over an organization of tremendously dedicated people over all these years who believe in Long Island, who believe that we have an economy worth building, an economy worth strengthening, and in the process of financing the companies that we help get financed through these meetings, we've contributed to that economic growth and development. The companies that, just looking back, that we have helped include those which you'll recognize very easily. FatWire, eShare Technologies, a very interesting company without which the chat rooms in the early days of AOL would never have evolved, let alone the technologies that emanated from them today. Melville Biologics, which was a company that did plasma fractionation, as a result of our helping it get financing, created 102 jobs on Long Island, and sadly moved to Boston, but then became Vitech, but it was a very vibrant group. Collaborative Laboratories. And our assistance over the years, while it's been predominantly based on equity financing of companies, has also included introducing companies to various sources of debt financing, asset-based lending, and so on. And as Neil mentioned in his comments, we've also helped companies grow by virtue of introducing entrepreneurs to other management types who can help them structure a company and better enable companies to get financed. As I look back, I'm very proud of the organization that the Long Island Venture Group / Long Island Capital Alliance has always been and is and will continue to be in the future. I am very confident that the organization has some very, very good years ahead of it, as does Long Island. And I am very proud that my dear friend Neil Kaufman is taking the helm, primarily because that means I don't have to work as much. But that Neil is also joined by a terrific set of professionals who constitute the board of the Long Island Capital Alliance that work earnestly in behalf of the organization and by implication in behalf of the Long Island business community. I thank my colleagues on the board, and I still will be a member of the board and on the executive committee. I thank you for bestowing me with the honor all these years of chairman, for putting up with a lot of what I've done and asked you to do, and for honoring me today with this. And I thank all of you as well for allowing me to serve the Long Island business community through this organization. Thank you very, very much.